Was good, was good, was good, y'all. Was good. Yeah. So going live out of nowhere. Going live out of nowhere, man. Going live out of nowhere. I just read the story. I just read the story. What's up, Wilson? We're gonna let a couple people get in the chat here. So we're definitely gonna talk about this story. I just read the whole thing. I just read the whole thing. So 15 women have come out and talked about sexual harassment at Redskins Park, at the front office in Ashburn, and at FedEx, talking about the work environment. So the article just came out. Wilson D, what's up, man? Mutib Khan, what's up, man? Cartel, what's up? Kid Ecstasy, what's up? What's up, guys? El Greco, Mike Lowry, what's up? Say less, what's up? Greco, what's up? Lorenzo Robbins, what's up? Lorenzo Robbins said there's probably more to come. I'm gonna read a little bit just in case you haven't read a little bit of it. Sean said it's all BS. ACT 4445 said, "Yo, yeah, this is very disappointing." Yeah, Mike Loud, the culture is damn good. It's pretty darn. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. The culture is darn good. This is a damn good culture. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I don't mean to joke around too much about this because there are ladies who came out and came forth. 15 girls, 15 women have come forth and alleged things. So there's probably more women to come. There's probably more women to come. This is probably going to be another Harvey Weinstein, Jeff Epstein, guys like that, where they're coming to take people down, and a lot of people, and I'm surprised to hear. JB Hardy, what's up, man? He's a channel member. What's up, man? Like I said, happy Thanksgiving, damn good culture. But like I said, what's his name? OGO Sports. Thank you for the donation. He said, "Do I feel it for you?" I thought the Giants had it rough with Baker, with DeAndre Baker and Alec Rosas, but this pales in comparison. On the bright side, you might get rid of Snyder, which is a good thing. Well, let's break this down. I'm gonna bust a lot of people's bubble. I'm gonna bust a lot of people's bubble because if you read the story, it doesn't reach the hype or the anticipation of everything all the beat reporters were saying, like JP Finley, like, oh, this is bad, this is bad, disappointing. It was bad. This is bad. This is very disappointing. It is, but it's not as bad. Like there was no there in the article, there was nothing about cheating and paying off refs. I didn't believe that rumor from the jump. Second of all, they did not mention Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden's name was not in this article. There was a lot of speculation about Jay Gruden. There was speculation about Scott McLuhan and Vinny Serrato. None of that was in this article. AM Hunter, what's up, man? He's a gentleman. But yeah, your Giants, man, your Giants are definitely going through it. DeAndre Baker, he's probably going to jail. Aljo Rosas definitely should go to jail for what he did. But they probably won't be going to jail. But DeAndre Baker is probably the dumbest criminal I've ever seen in my life. Him and Quentin Dunbar getting screenshots, getting caught, robbing people. I mean, my goodness, y'all. I mean, all that money you guys got, y'all robbing people after losing from gambling. My goodness, I mean, y'all couldn't have somebody do that for you, and your execution of paying off somebody was terrible. So I mean, it was awful. They're shacking the fool with that one. Michael Hinton said Dan ain't going nowhere. So, and that's the thing, man. Chris House Persinger, what's up, man? Dr. Pepper, what's up, man? Dan can definitely be forced to sell from this. Now, it's not, like I said, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as what people built it up to be. All the hype and the anticipation is not as bad as that. Like cheating and paying off refs, that was not in the article. Like I said, the stuff about Jay Gruden was not in the article that everybody anticipated, like paying the cheerleaders. They did talk about the cheerleaders, though. They did talk Alex Santos, Richard Mann, and Larry Michael. All three of those guys were heavy in the article. Heavy. And Larry Michael looks terrible. And I'm not gonna lie, I looked up to Larry Michael. We a lot of people did. He was a legend in a lot of people's eyes. Larry Michael was a nice guy from what I heard on TV, but behind the scenes, Larry Michael looks terrible. He looks awful. He looks terrible. Larry Michael looks terrible now, and his legacy is over. It's done. It's kaput. It's done. He looks terrible. Richard Mann looks terrible. Oscar Josue, Mike Montel, what's up, man? Ross Smart, what's up, man? I drip 2. People are saying y'all paid off the refs to get better draft picks, aka taking. That's not in the article. I think that's a lie. I don't believe that. We were the most penalized team in the whole NFL. I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that rumor from the jump. I still don't believe that paying off refs rumor. I got to see it to believe it because we would have won way more games if we were paying off the refs. Or if he actually did pay off the refs and they still cheated us like that, Dan, I'm not going to say he needs to put a hit on those refs, but come on now. Those refs didn't help us one bit. It's like they cheated us more than they helped us, to be honest with you. So I really don't believe in that ref scandal. Kyle Brown always thought Larry was boring. Chick's always been my fave. Jake Hernandez, yeah, that's my guy. William Zimmerman said if we pay the refs, they better give us our money back. For real, they better give us our money back. For real, they robbed Dan Snyder of his money if they really think that. So I'll read the first part of the article here. Let's see here. It says the woman said during their lunch break, she said to commiserate and cry about the frequent sexual harassment and verbal abuse they endured. They cried about the former chief operating officer's expletive-laced tirades, Applegate said, when she recalled him calling her effing stupid and then requesting she wear a tight dress for a meeting with clients. So it was stuff like that where they wanted the girl employees to wear tight dresses and tight shirts and high heels. They wanted them to wear stuff like that so they could basically have sex appeal and kind of seduce and want guys to buy more tickets. So that's what the NFL has not commented on the situation at all. So TMZ hasn't said anything either. So, but Dan Snyder, this stuff is Iris. This stuff it is bad. It's bad. So she said they wanted her to wear a tight dress for a meeting with clients so the men in the room would have something to look at. They cried about a wealthy suite holder who grabbed her friend's backside during a game, Applegate said, and the indifference the team's top sales executive displayed when she complained. OGR Sports, thanks for the donation again. He said, do you think more stuff may evolve from this, or do you think the ladies get justice and that will be the end of it? I think more stuff. I think it's going to be, like I said, a Harvey Weinstein, Jeff Epstein, or whatever his last name is. Harvey Weinstein and Jeff. It's going to be like one of those, especially in 2020, where a lot of men are getting canceled. And a lot of women are coming forth. I hate to say, Bill Cosby was wrong. A lot of women came out for Bill Cosby. A lot of women came out for R. Kelly, and a lot of people have come out for Harvey Weinstein. A lot of people have come out for Jeff Epstein. So more women are probably going to come forth. So this environment was really bad for anywhere for anybody. It was bad for men, I heard too, but it was really bad for women. The reporter Rihanna Walker for ESPN. She's a very well-known reporter, young lady. She was sexually abused as well. Not they would like pinch their butt and touch their butt and things like that. That's what they said in the article. Now there was no like rape or anything like that, but it was bad stuff. It was bad stuff. Thank you for the donation, OGR Sports. That's my guy right there. Franklin Walker, thank you for the donation. He said, Ed, where does the team go from here? I think eventually Dan is going to be forced. I think he's going to be forced to sell. He's going to be forced to sell. A lot of people are saying Jeff Bezos had something behind this. I'm not going to say he had something behind this, but he owns the Washington Post, so he definitely wanted this story published. 15 women have come forward, so this needed to stop. This needed to stop. It was a toxic culture, toxic environment. Guys like Alex Santos, he gets exposed. Richard Mann II gets exposed, and unfortunately, I'm saying unfortunately because I really like Larry Michael. I did. I really like Larry Michael. I like listening to him on the radio doing play-by-play. I like watching Redskins Nation almost every day. I was a fan of Larry Michael, and a lot of us can say that, and a lot of us are disappointed by the news that came out. He was a freaked out guy. He was basically that crusty perverted old man. They actually quoted him saying there was one time during training camp where a girl walked by. This is in the article in the Washington Post, where it says the girl walked by and she had a really tight ass or a really tight or rear, really tight behind. And he said, well, I can't talk to her because she's basically messing around with the whole football team. So, he said stuff like that. There's one allegation of Larry Michael where they said they did a late night show with a girl and he grabbed the girl's face, telling her that she had a nice face or a cute face. So Larry Michael, where does the team go from here? It looks like Dan probably is going to be forced to sell. And then who the next owner is going to be? It probably will be Jeff Bezos. It probably will be Jeff Bezos. And we don't know what's going to happen to Dwayne Haskins. We don't know what's going to happen with Ron Rivera, a new owner. It's too late to fire the coach or trade the quarterback or anything like that. It's way too late with the season to start in a week. Training camp is start. If the season starts on time, it's way too late to get rid of Ron. Ron Rivera said some good things in the article. We'll get to that as well. But yeah, of course he's going to keep Ron. The years like 2021, 2022, Dwayne had a shorter leash than he is right now. The new owner might want a new coach after next year or in the next 2 years. Ron and Dan had a plan. That's the thing. Ron and Dan had a plan where I'm not going to lie, I actually like the plan that Dan had. It's kind of sad because Dan is probably, like I said, Dan's probably going to be forced to sell. I think it's right now. It's 60% chance Dan is going to be forced to sell. It's not 100%. I'm not going to say it's 100%. I'm going to say it's 60%. 60% Dan is going to be forced to sell after this article because more women are going to be coming out. It's not just these 15 women. It's going to be more women to come out and speak on this. But I'm going to say it's looking like 60%. Now there's other owners like Mark Cuban, Jerry Jones has had different things happen in their organization, and they've gotten away with. They've just been suspended and haven't been forced to sell. But you saw what happened to Jerry Richardson with the Panthers. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But where does the team come from here? I still trust in Dwayne Haskins. I still trust in Ron Rivera. So I still trust in those guys. We still have Terry McLaurin. We have Chase Young. I still think I think the players have a bright future, but the front office is definitely going to be shaken up. It's definitely going to be shaken up. Thank you for the donation once again. Redskins Bay 12 man. He said, "I'm too damn high." Everybody wants Dan gone, man. It's like I said. Happy Thanksgiving. It's a damn good culture. Like I said before, a lot of people are hyped. Redskins Bay 12 man. That's my guy. He's a channel member. A lot of people are hyped because they want to see Dan sell the team. They want to see him be gone. So, Redskins Bay 12. You said I want that. Yeah. He said I want that. Yeah. Well, if Dan is forced to sell, he's gonna get a lot of money from Bezos. He's gonna get $5 billion. He might get even more. He might even get more. He might even get more than that. He might even get more. So I want that. Yeah, Dan's been on his yacht for a long time. He's been on his yacht for a long time. So he might just be selling that yacht more. Like I said, he might be getting $5 billion. He might be getting $5 billion or even more from Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos probably is going to buy this team. These are the Hall of Fame with their donation. That's my guy on Twitter. He's a good guy. He said, "I think Dan dodges the bullet. Have to trust in Ron to right the ship. Dan will be under the microscope from here on out. Dan will walk the straight line. Bruce was fired." I don't know if Dan's gonna make it out of this one. Like I said, it's not 100%. It's not 100% that Dan will be forced to sell. I think it's gonna be 60%. Right now, it depends on how many more women come forth with stories. Now it's been 15 women right now, and I know there's more women that are gonna come forth. There's even men. Men have come. A man came forth. There was one time there was a guy who was selling. This is in the story as well. I'm gonna drop this. If you guys don't feel like reading the story, you can just listen. I'll just tell you some little nuggets here and there. There is a guy who was a cheerleader in college or whenever he was a cheerleader. And he was a top. He was a salesman for the Redskins. He had to sell tickets and whatnot. He had to sell the VIP tickets were very expensive. And they talked about how the team has been bad. And of course, it's hard to sell tickets. So it's a tough job. So the guy wasn't really selling a lot of tickets. And Dan made fun of him and made him do cartwheels. He made fun of him because he was a male cheerleader. That is in the story. You will find that in the story if you do read the Washington Post article. So I don't know if Dan's going to dodge. Like I said, in 2020 with the cancel culture and the climate of today, I just don't see Dan making it. I don't see it. It's 60%. It's 60%. Dan, he might dodge a bullet. I wouldn't be surprised if he dodges the bullet, but I think it's bad. I think it's bad. Juan Gotti, what's up, man? Go ahead and curse. It's needed at this moment. I might have to. The Philly Talk podcast. Philly Mike, that's my guy. He said, I got to come in and hear this. You still my guy. See, the thing is, everybody wants to hear about the refs and stuff. He didn't pay off anywhere. That's not in the article. That could come out later on, but I don't believe him paying the refs. You look at our record and look at the refs. The refs cheated us every game. How do you pay the refs if you're going to get cheated like that every game? That doesn't make any sense. I think some of the rumors that came out before the article, some of them are a little far-fetched in my opinion. Now the article, if you got to read the article, I'm going to tell you, of course, what they said in the article, but the paying the refs, that was a stupid rumor to me. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Flora Watt said, "Yeah, Dan's not going anywhere." What Nichols said, "No Jay-Z, no Bezos. Hello, horrible. I don't see Jay-Z buying this team. I don't think Pedro thinks Dan is staying. Michael Hayden said, "Dan ain't selling. It's a tough one. He might be able to get out of this one, but it's hard. It's really, like I said, you guys got to think of what the culture is today. You got to think it's 2020. It's not 1996. It's not 2005. It's 2020 where everybody gets canceled. They changed their name. Everything's getting changed. So a lot of people are going to uproar probably over this. People have been waiting on this story. So the story is not as much as it was hyped up to be, but it is a big story. Redskins Bay 12 man, thank you for the donation. He said COVID Snyder 21 will be gone. I won't miss that short mission. Ric Flair voice. He said, "Woo, woo!" Ric Flair. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good for him right now. It's not looking good for him. Fancy said agreed. I don't think Dan is going anywhere. Mike Lowry said Dan is cool with Trump. He'll be okay. Yeah, that he does have some guys on the side. He does have some guys on the side. CGM87, thank you for the donation. You said, love your content, bro. I believe all the Gruden/Bibbs rumors, hoping for a new owner who keeps us in DC, but think Dan will survive. A lot of people think Dan's going to survive. Like I said, I think it's 60% Dan is gone, 40% Dan is still here. Like I said, it's not 100% that Dan is gone. I will agree with that. I don't think it's 100% that Dan is going now. Like I said, the rumors and the hype, they hyped it up like Dan was just going to be fired today or have to be forced to sell the team immediately. Now, 15 women coming forth, that doesn't mean it's just 15 women. You got to remember that. It's going to be more girls, more ladies, more women coming out because you got to think about the other guys or other famous celebrities who have been accused of bad work environments. Even what was the guy, Matt Lauer, who worked for NBC4? He got accused of things that other women were coming out. So it's not just going to be these 15 women. You got to remember that more women, more ladies are going to come out. But the Gruden, they did not talk about Jay Gruden at all in this article. They did not speak, not one word was talked about Jay Gruden at all. Not one. It's more Larry Michael, more Alex Santos, more Richard Mann, and another this guy named Mitch. I'm trying to find his name. I want to read some of the articles to you guys too. Mitch something. I got to find his name. Mitch Grisham or something like that. Mitch Gershom. He looked really bad in this article. So for Dan to allow this to happen, it looks really bad. There was actually one part in the article as well. I'll drop this nugget too. There was a staircase in it was in Ashburn. So the girls were walking the staircase, right? And they said a lot of the male trainers and male employees in DC, they knew that the girls would walk upstairs, right? So they would be at the bottom of the staircase and look up and look under their skirt. And girls would notice that and they would peep that. And of course that's definitely harassment. That's big harassment right there. So that's unacceptable. If Dan knows about that and the girls told Dan or they said the HR, human resources, there was barely any HR to really report things like this to. Girls were very uncomfortable. They didn't feel comfortable to report any of these things. And when they did, nobody listened to them. So that's the big thing right there. That's the big thing that Dan could definitely be forced to sell. There's many other things, like I said, Larry Michael, other guys like that. But to get back to the Capri Bibbs, and I like Capri Bibbs. He was really good. He caught that nice touchdown against the Dallas Cowboys, against the Cowgirls. He was a good replacement for Chris Thompson, too. I thought he played really well. It was really fishy. Why was Capri Bibbs gone? Why did he leave? Everybody was like, why did they let Capri Bibbs go in the middle of the season after he had a nice touchdown catch, the screen pass from Alex Smith against the Cowboys? Allegedly, this is not in the article, but allegedly, Capri Bibbs last night in his Instagram Live said that Jay Gruden and him were having sexual relations with the receptionist, and Jay Gruden wasn't happy about that, so he benched Capri Bibbs, and Byron Marshall was put in the game. And then, of course, Byron Marshall missed a block for Alex Smith, and then Alex Smith broke his leg. So a lot of people are blaming that on Jay Gruden, but that was not in the article at all. Kevin Hooker said Dan ain't going nowhere. Look, nothing involving Dan. See, the thing is about that. There was nothing. Dan didn't physically touch any girls. He didn't physically. He wasn't selling the cheerleaders or nothing like that. He wasn't pimping out the cheerleaders like people are saying. That wasn't really in the article. They did talk about the cheerleaders. Alex Santos like selling photos and what stuff and the nudes in Costa Rica. They didn't really go into detail about that too much. But Dan, knowing that this is going on, that's what they can get Dan on. By him turning a blind eye to a lot of this stuff. That's where they can get Dan to sell the team on. That's where they can get him on. Diesel the Hall, thank you for the donation. You say Robert Kraft and Jim Irsay still own teams that the Redskins had a competitive edge by paying refs. It never showed. If it's true, we're even worse than I thought. If it is true, then yeah, Dan needs to be forced to sell immediately because that's just awful. He needs his money back. He needs all $2 million back if he really paid those refs. All the holding penalties, all the Morgan Moses holding, and all the holding penalties. I don't remember one game where the refs actually helped us out. Maybe that one Dallas game where the guy did the little the fake little snap. That's the only game where I can see the refs help us out. But all the games, the refs killed us. Like that Dallas Thanksgiving game, Jerry Jones pays refs. And Jerry Jones was seen partying with the refs the night before game. So I'm not a big believer in that ref story, to be honest. I'm really not. I'm not a big believer in him paying the refs because we were so awful. If we would have won way more games if he was paying off the refs. I don't believe that rumor one bit. Redskins man 10 said Dan got to sell. Travis Noah said he knew everything that was going on. It's highly unlikely for him not to have known. That's what I'm saying. He turned a blind eye to everything, so he knew everything that was going on. That's where they're going to get him on. He didn't physically. Dan Snyder didn't physically touch anybody. If you think that happened, he didn't. Who knows? I don't think Dan physically. I think other guys were touching girls and stuff, but Dan just knew about it. He knew. Alex Santos is a creep. He's a real creep. He was a married man. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Redskins made 12 man. Thank you for the donation again. He said, don't forget to press the heck out of that like button. That's my guy. He's a big channel member. He's an elite channel member. He will be on my channel next Tuesday, I think. We'll be talking Redskins, Wizards, everything. If you're an elite channel member, you get featured on the channel. We go live. I go live once a week with the elite channel members. We talk about Redskins, Wizards, anything DC sports. We talk about anything. So shout out to my man's Redskins Bay 12 man. Thank you for the donation. Once again, he said he's a short, smart pervert. Dan, he looks like a pervert. I'm not gonna lie, he does. But Alex Santos is the real creep. Larry Michael, it's tough. I don't know who's the creepiest out of all three big names in here. I want to say it's Alex Santos. He's probably the creepiest one out of all. Alex Santos was the creepiest. There's one girl. The story was because Alex Santos is a married man, so he was messing with a girl, and they have screenshots of text messages as well. Rihanna Walker, she works for the ESPN. She's a young lady. She's real skinny. Like I said, he said that she has an ass like a wagon. She said that he said that. She was like, "Oh, would you date me if I was single?" and all this stuff. And he was texting her and all this creepy stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that comes out in the article. It's mainly the article's mainly about Alex Santos, Richard Mann, and Mitch Gershom and Larry Michael. So those four guys are really creepy. Franklin Walker, I think with the donation, he said Ed Bezos will buy Trump. Yeah, Bezos, he might be able to buy this team after this. He might, and maybe he was happy to release the story, so he could buy the team. So he could force Dan to sell and get the team. So I would not be surprised since he does run or he does own the Washington Post here. Pedro said Adam Schefter said Dan will still be the owner. Oh, okay, so he did announce that. It's still it's still not over yet. It's still not over yet. It's not over yet. So it's more to come. It's definitely more to come. I think it's going to be more ladies coming out. I think it's going to be more stuff coming out. Beast Mode 2.0 say even if you pay the refs, they can still F you over and finesse your money. Yeah, Beast Mode, I get that, but I don't think he would keep doing that though. I don't think he would do it. After one game of losing, I don't think he would keep paying the refs because they said up to $2 million that he paid off the refs. I just don't believe that. I really don't believe that. And like I said, they didn't feature that in the article. I think they definitely would have featured that in the article if that was true. Ronald Brockett says, why now burgundy and gold forever? I know Ron tripping. These women should know working around men got to be professional. Just saying. Yeah, they were being professional. They were. The people that weren't being professional was Larry Michael, Alex Santos, Richard Mann, and Mitch Gershom. Those guys were not professional at all. They made women feel very uncomfortable. They would nip them on the behind, grab their hip, and they said they put that in this article. So that stuff you will be. And I hate to talk about stuff like this. I really do. I hate it. I can't stand it. I just want to talk about football. I want to get this name thing over with. I just want to talk about football. Training camp is in a couple weeks. So I just really want to talk about football. But this is interesting. Dan right now is the owner. Mike Pedro Schmidt said, who's my guy, he said that Adam Schefter said that Dan is still the owner right now, of course. So it might get worse from here. Will I Am Music said, why wait so long to talk about this though? These metal sucker buses are insane. Yeah, sometimes it takes time for stuff to come out. You gotta think about Jerry Sandusky. You think about Joe Paterno. That took a long time to come out. Jerry Sandusky was doing that stuff for a long time. It took a long time for them to get Jerry Sandusky up out of there. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to get somebody fired. And sometimes the girl said it. She was like, she talked about Larry Michael. She was like, who are they going to believe? Are they going to believe me or are they going to believe Larry Michael? Who are they going to believe? Most of 9 times out of 10, they're going to believe Larry Michael. They're going to believe Alex Santos. They're going to believe whoever instead of believing, one of the young girls who are an intern or a reporter. They're making, she said she's making $30,000 a year while Larry Michael is the face. He's the voice of the Washington Redskins. They're going to take Larry Michael's side over and over and over again. Skins fan all day. What's up, man? What's going on, man? So I'll get back into the article real quick. I'll read another little nugget here. Bruce Allen did not snitch. Allegedly, he did not snitch. I'll say that. Bruce Allen did not snitch. He did not snitch. So I'll say that. A lot of people are alleging that Bruce Allen snitched. So one thing I'll read about Dan Snyder, he routinely belittled top executives. According to three former members of his executive staff, perhaps most intensely Green, the former sales exec I talked about who Snyder mocked for having been a male cheerleader in college. After one executive staff meeting, according to one former employee, Green said Snyder had ordered him to do cartwheels for their entertainment. So that is bad. That's pretty bad. That's really bad in a work environment. You don't tell somebody to do cartwheels because they're a former cheerleader. That is putting somebody down. And the guy goes on to say, I have never been in a more hostile, manipulative, passive aggressive environment. And I worked in politics, said Julia Payne, who was one of the girls who said she was abused or sexually harassed. Former assistant press secretary in the Clinton administration, who briefly served as vice president of communications for the team in 2003. She said, with a toxic, mood-driven environment and the owner behaving like he does, said Payne, how could anyone think these women would go to HR? So they were scared. They were scared to go to HR because of Dan Snyder. They were scared to go to HR because of Dan Snyder. So English Skin, what's up, man? It sounds really bad. Yeah. Dan Snyder, like I said, I think I'll say 50-50. I was at 60% gone and 40% staying, but I think it's 50-50. I think it's 50-50. Redskins game say, yo, why can't I curse in the comment? I think my mods are blocking for cursing. They try to demonetize sometimes, but LC, he said, I ain't gonna lie, I would have laughed if he made him do cartwheels. I'm going to hell. Yeah, man, that's bad. You can't do that. You can't belittle somebody and make a fool out of somebody just because they were a cheerleader in college. You can't make a guy do cartwheels because he's not selling tickets. You can't do that. You can't do that. We'll get into Alex Santos real quick. He's the creep. He's the creep. He's the biggest creep out of all of them, I think. Larry Michael was a big creep as well. But she says one girl was an intern and they were talking about so someone said I would assume Bruce Allen knew because he sat 30 feet away from me. She was talking about how girls were being harassed. She says that Bruce Allen knew as well because she saw 30. She sat 30 feet away from Bruce Allen's desk, so she's saying Bruce Allen turned a blind eye as well. J.R. Hicksonball, I think, with the donation. So was the refs paid to make Skins lose, or did Snyder pay refs to have cheap shots put on the Skins like the headshots, etc.? If he is JS musician, I'm sure there's much more to come. Yeah, there probably is more. There is more. Yeah, 2-bar. Alex Santos texts were very cringe. I'm gonna find those texts and read them to you guys. If you guys don't feel like paying for this subscription, you probably saw the screenshots anyway. But the refs being paid, like I said, I doubt Dan paid the refs to make us lose. I highly doubt that. I don't believe that. I have to really see that in writing or Dan be recorded. I wouldn't be surprised if they recorded Dan Snyder saying some of this weird stuff, but I don't believe that. Like I said, our record has been awful in the past years. Paying the refs $2 million worth, and we were 3-13 last year. That doesn't make any sense to me. And the year before, we had Alex Smith, he got hurt. We started to win games. I watched those games. I don't think they were swayed because of the ref, in my opinion. I think the only game that might have been swayed by the ref was maybe that Cowboys game where the guy, he was false starting with the snap. That maybe might have been one game. But other than that, we've been cheated so much. Morgan Moses penalties, Brian Kerrigan always being held. We always get the short end of the stick with the refs, and we will always complain about it. Jay Gruden used to complain about it all the time. And once again, disclaimer, Jay Gruden was not mentioned in this article at all. He was not mentioned. A lot of people have been speculating about Jay Gruden, but he was not in this article. So Emily Applegate, she says, it was the most miserable experience of my life, and we all tolerated it because we all knew if we complained, and they reminded us of this. There were 1,000 people out there who would take our job in a heartbeat. So basically, they said if they told on somebody, if they said Larry Michael was touching me or Richard Santos, Alex Santos was touching me, basically they would be fired. So that's one of the things right there. Let me see this other thing. She said, it was my first job, so I kind of normalized it. Said a woman who worked for the club for several years and departed in 2019, and it was happening to every single one of my female coworkers under the age of 40. I was propositioned basically every day at training camp, said one female employee who worked for the team in the mid-2010s. For several years, the overtures came in the form of a whispered invitation from one coach at the tobacco company to his hotel room, she said, as well as emails and text messages from other male staffers, also disclosing their room numbers and offering invitations for late night visits. late night visits. Nothing good happens after, around the nighttime. So you know what those coaches probably wanted from those girls. So and this is the thing from Alex Santos for talking about Rihanna Walker, who's a beat reporter right now. She works for ESPN. She said she arrived at Prom 47 to learn that Alex Santos, the club scouting director, had been asking her reporting colleagues whether they thought she might be interested in him. She said in the phone interview this week, they tried to discourage him outside of the ethical concerns, Walker said. Her colleagues knew she was in a committed relationship and wouldn't ever date a married man. Alex Santos was a married man. He was a married man and trying to hit on these young girls. But Santos was undeterred, she said. She was told upon arriving. Santos' approach, she said, and the conversation started innocently. He showed her photos of his wife and his young daughters on his phone. Walker recalled reading from notes she later provided to her company's lawyers describing the incident. Then Santos told Walker she had worn the F out of her jeans the day before, she said, and asked whether she would date him if they were single. So Alex Santos told Rihanna Walker that she wore the F out of those jeans. So she told him that I do have a girlfriend and he does have a wife. So we don't need to play hypotheticals here, Walker said. I was pretty blunt. Santos kept attempting to flirt for several minutes with Rihanna Walker and told her he would wear me down with his charm, she recalled. Then he pinched her on the hip. In full view of other team employees and reporters, she said. Walker felt humiliated, she recalled, and concerned some people who saw what had happened would think she had welcomed the attention. It felt like pretty much the worst thing in the world, Walker said. He didn't care. He thought it was funny. So basically, Alex Santos pinched her on her hip and said that she was wearing the F out of those jeans. So that is pretty nasty stuff by Alex Santos. So remember when they got fired, and also the news came out that 3 minority owners, they hired a banking to help them sell. Redskins gang said late night booty call. So yeah, they had at training camp, they're there for a long time, and these old men, they wanted some of these young girls, they're not supposed to be doing stuff like that, but basically the beat reporters, a lot of the front office guys like Alex Santos and Richard Mann, they said, hey, if you want to come to the hotel for the late night, you can come through. That's what these guys were telling these young reporters like Rihanna Walker. That's what they were telling them. And you're not supposed to do stuff like that. You're not supposed to do stuff like that. You know what it is. Yak Dog said Vinny Serrato was a cokehead too. I wouldn't be surprised. Same thing with Jay Gruden. Jay was smoking a Jay outside with the girl. Jay Gruden, he was a crazy guy. But like I said, Jay Gruden was not in this article. Not one bit was Jay Gruden. And then there's one talking about Santos. This girl said, he told me I had a great ass for a little white girl, Princati said. The general sentiment was that I should wear less clothing. So, like I said, if Dan knew about this stuff, this is where it gets bad. If you knew Alex Santos was saying stuff like this to girls, you got a great ass for a little white girl, it's stuff like that, man. And then we're gonna get into Larry. We're gonna get into Larry Michael. Larry Michael, man, it's bad. It's bad. There's an intern, and I hate to talk about this stuff. I just want to talk about football. But of course, we had to talk about because this concerns Dan Snyder, where Dan Snyder might be forced to sell. Like I said, when you read about it, I think it's 50-50 right now. I don't think it's 100% they're going to force Dan to sell. Like I said, before the article was released, everybody was like, oh, it's going to be terrible. Dan's going to be forced to sell. But I think it's 50-50 right now. It's on the cusp. It's on the cusp right now. Rihanna Walker said she told Alex Santos it was, or the young lady, her name was Princati. Her name is Princati. It's pronounced Princati. She's a foreign young lady, and one of the front office guys, they gave her a nickname called Princati instead of Princati. So there's nothing about sex trafficking in the article really. There's nothing about sex trafficking. There's nothing about paying the refs and stuff like that. Let's see here. Walker said she informed Tony Wiley, then the team's vice president of communications, about Princati's allegations. She said, and Princati confirmed she spoke to Tony Wiley about Alex Santos. Tony Wiley left the team in 2019. He declined to comment for this story. A few weeks later, team lawyers informed the Athletic that Santos had been disciplined, but declined to specify how, Walker said. So now they finally got fired. This happened a couple years ago. Abu Ho, thank you for the donation. He said, hello, Ed. How are you today? I just watched Louis T stream last night, and it's crazy. I hope Dan will sell the team. 21 years is long enough. Yeah, I agree. I hope he sells the team, man. We haven't won a play. We haven't won 11 games since 1992, and that just makes you want to throw up. It's been awful, Dan. It's been a terrible ass culture. I hate to curse, but it's been a terrible ass culture. Happy Thanksgiving has been it's been awful. It's been terrible. It's been hard to be a Redskins fan. I'm not gonna lie. I think we all know this. It's been tough being a Redskins fan. You know, RG3 was probably the best year we've had in a long time. That was back in 2012. You know, we haven't won a playoff game since what 2005. So Dan Snyder has been atrocious. Many coaches, Jim Zorn, you know, he fired Marty Schottenheimer when he was coaching well. Mike Shanahan, we went through that. You know, Mike Shanahan was a good coach. You come here, you fire Scott McCloughan. You know, I can go on and on about Dan Snyder. The signing of Albert Hainsworth, the signing of Deion Sanders when he's like 38 years old. You know, I can go on and on about how bad Dan Snyder has been. Bruce Allen, you know, going through the Bruce Allen years. You know, so like I said, it's been a terrible ass culture. Happy Thanksgiving for Dan. You know, it's been awful. It's been awful. One lady said in the article, she said, I am done with the NFL, the woman said. Her experience with the Redskins has killed any dream of a career in pro sports. So here are the text messages right here. This is from Richard Mann and a former female Redskins employee. I'll read a little bit of the text messages. I'm not going to read so many of the text messages. I'm going to read a little bit of it. So the guy says, nice shirt. The girl says, LOL, thanks. LOL, sorry. And then the guy says, Richard Mann says, LOL, sorry, inside joke. It's a compliment. Then the girl says, what's the joke? And then Richard Mann says, nothing. It's stupid. You look great today. That's all. Then the young lady says, I want to be in on these jokes. And then Richard Mann says, lame boob joke. And then the girl says, I figured that much. So it's weird. It's weird stuff. So this girl kind of is going back and forth with Richard Mann in these text messages. So it is a little weird here. It is a little weird. So so I'm not gonna read this one. I'm not gonna read this one. So Richard Mann basically texted the girl. He said, if I bring, so the girl was texting. Okay, I'll read this part real. I'm gonna read this part really quick. So this is where it goes. So see, the guy said, Richard Mann said, well, last night I had other things on my small mind, LOL. So I didn't want to be around you with bad thoughts because I'm a swell pal. The girl says, LOL. Then the guy says, see, now you understand. If you were hammered, it would have been bad. Then the girl says, bring me food. I heard, haha. And then he says, okay, do you want Jimmy John's? And then the girl says, oh my gosh, I love the beach club. Then the guy says, Richard Mann says, if I bring that, I want to squeeze your butt. Deal? Then the girl says, no, LOL. Then Richard Mann says, LOL, there's like 15 places within a mile from where you are. Then the girl says, I don't want to get out of bed. And then Richard Mann says, oh, I see. I suppose I can deliver. It's kind of far though. Do you tip the food delivery guy? You are very demanding. Then the girl says, haha, I'm hungry. We're supposed to have family lunch, but granddad couldn't get out of his neighborhood. Then Richard Mann says, that sucks. I'm squeezing your ass. ... Sorry, LOL. The girl says, nope. Then Richard Mann says, that's not even a big deal. It's like innocent. I'll text you when I get back over that way. I'll pick you up something, G. Then the girl says, I'm hungry. So basically in the text, he's saying he'll squeeze her ass. I mean, squeeze her butt. I'm sorry to say that. He's going to squeeze her butt and all this stuff. It's pretty creepy stuff. That's Richard Mann who just got fired. Matthew Gill, thank you for the donation. He said, what if Dan Snyder gets fired? Dan Snyder, yeah, he would be forced to sell. I don't think they technically call it being fired, but the owners could force him to sell. Roger Goodell could force him to sell. So Biggie Small said, pimping ain't easy. You guys are funny as crap. You guys are messed up. Cole Billy, you can see the article on Washington Post. Some people have paid for it. It's $1 for a subscription on the Washington Post. If you don't want to pay for it, I'm reading some of the article for you guys. Ready, Red. Are you kidding me? Cowboys don't have Jerry Jones is one of the biggest creeps. Watch the South Park episode. Watch this. Jerry Jones is one of the biggest creeps out there. You know Jerry Jones is a darn creep. You know dang well that Jerry Jones is probably doing just as much as Dan Snyder, if not more. Don't get me started, Ready, Red. Please don't get. You know Jerry Jones pays off the refs, and you know that's a fact. He's been seen going to the clubs, going to parties with refs, coming out of a party bus with refs. So you know Jerry Jones has probably done he's way more of a creep. Way more of a creep. And there's actually a video of Ezekiel Elliott grabbing a young lady's breast on a boat. TMZ just released that. So look that up. Don't get me started on the Cowboys. You know dang well Jerry Jones is just as much as a creep as freaking Dan Snyder. Jerry Jones is probably way more of a creep than Dan Snyder. And that's a fact. He's like 86 years old. He's a freaking creep. So please don't get me started on the Cowboys. J.R. Hickson Boss said, God bless you. ACTR, keep the content coming. Bye, Dan. Everybody else, you nasty Larry Michael. Yeah, Larry Michael is bad for Larry Michael. I think Larry Michael might have got it the worst out of it. It's between Alex Santos, Larry Michael, and Richard Mann. I think Alex Santos is really a creep though, but Larry Michael might have got it the worst. I think it's Larry Michael the most because I think we're all more disappointed in Larry Michael because we loved Larry Michael. He was a legend. Redskins Nation. We all watched Larry. If you don't know who Larry Michael is, Larry Michael is the voice of the Redskins. He did radio with 980. He did the play-by-play. He was a legend. I instead of listening to bum ass, I'm sorry to curse you, instead of listening to bum ass Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, so boring. You just turn on the radio, listen to Chris Cooley, listen to Larry Michael, instead of listening to boring Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. You just turn on the radio. You listen to that, listen to Larry Michael, but now, Larry Michael's a freaking creepo, old man hitting on young girls, young interns. It messes up the history, so it's tough, man. It's tough. Thank you, man. He said, God bless you. Yeah, thank you for the donation, my man, J.R. Hickson. Boy, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. The Dubs family said, Adam Schefter said they will own the team, and that's not going to change. Hey, like I said, never say never, man. Never say never. In all caps. Never say never. I know you didn't say never right there, but don't say that's not going to change. Don't be surprised. Like I said, it's 2020. This culture, they get people up out of there, man. You see what they're doing in Nick Cannon now. If you say anything wrong, and not just cancel culture, but if you do something wrong or say something wrong, man, they will get you out of there. 15 girls came forth today, and I highly doubt it's just 15 women. There's going to be more girls coming out. You know how stories like this go. So it could definitely go even worse for what's his name, Dan Snyder. It could definitely get worse. It could definitely get worse than what this is. Like I said, the story is not as it didn't hit the hype. Like a movie where you're watching a movie, you're like, oh my gosh, the new Avengers came out. You're like, oh, this is gonna be the best Avengers ever, right? And they hyped it up, and you see the Avengers, and it's disappointing. It wasn't very disappointing, but it's not like, oh, Jay Gruden did this, Jay Gruden did that, and there's none of the selling, there's none of that buying the refs. That wasn't in the article. None of that was in there. None of the sex trafficking. There's no sex trafficking in the article. Crazy stuff like that. That was not in the article. Now, a lot of touching women in the wrong areas and things like that, a lot of that was in the article. That is for sure. They do talk about the cheerleaders a little bit, but not as much as you think. They do talk about the cheerleaders though. Biggie Smalls, thank you for becoming a channel member. That's my guy. Yes, sir. You got that cool Chase Young emoji right next to you, man. Shout out my man Chase Young. I feel bad that he has to, deal with stuff. I feel bad for guys like Dwayne Haskins and Terry McLaurin and Ron Rivera. I feel bad for Ron Rivera, man. I feel bad for these guys, man. I really do. Jerry Jones is a creepo. We all know that. Redskins 007, thank you for the donation. He says, what up, Ed? Keep up the good work, man. Yes, sir. I'm just reporting what I can. I didn't want to make a video on this before because I wanted to wait for all the facts and what was really going to happen. I wasn't one of those guys who was like, oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad, like JP Finlay and all these other people were saying. I wanted to keep it a buck and keep it 100 and see what the allegations really were. Like this BS rumor that Dan Snyder paid the rest. I do not believe that one bit because we got our ass kicked, and if we were paying the rest, we would have won a lot more games, in my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. 3-13, Morgan Moses being called for a penalty every other play. You know how many good plays we had called back? Are you kidding me? Did you see that Dallas game at home? They cheated us like the Dallas game on Thanksgiving where they cheated us and ripped off Colt McCoy's neck backwards on a face. And you're saying Dan Snyder paid the refs? How about Jerry Jones paying the refs? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about some paying the refs. CGM87, thank you for the donation. What name you choosing? I feel bad for Ron Rivera walking through all this BS. Marty got fired for how he treated number 28, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into Martin Schottenheimer, but Marty Schottenheimer was his personality was more, he's not going to take any mess from somebody like a Dan Snyder. He's not just going to lay down and obey everything that Dan Snyder says. So he had to go. We started out 0-8 or something like that, and Marty Schottenheimer found a way to win eight games. We're barely having a good quarterback at all, So the name that I'm choosing is Red Wolves. I'm going with Red Wolves. I'm over this name thing. They're probably going to try to announce the game to take away a little bit of attention from this story, but that's not going to really happen. But what's it? I think it's going to be Red Wolves. It might be Warriors. I really don't want it to be Warriors. I don't want it to be Warriors because of the Golden State Warriors. I think we'd be overshadowed by the Golden State Warriors since they win all the time with Steph and Clay and Draymond. So we would be an afterthought. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're watching the Warriors game," and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you talking about Steph and Clay, right?" And they'd be like, "No, I'm talking about the team that had the freaking crazy owner and all this other stuff." So that's why I don't really want Warriors. Everybody's gonna be like, "You watching the Warriors game? You gonna watch the Warriors? You going to the Warriors game? Oh yeah, we better see Steph and Clay." I don't want to be confused with Steph and Clay and the Golden State Warriors. Now I know there's other teams like the Braves, or I mean the Giants and the San Francisco Giants, and there's other teams that do have the same name. I get that, but I just feel like right now, especially with the Warriors winning all the time, there's no point in being overshadowed by Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, in my opinion. Um, let's see here. Biggie Small said electrifying. Reddy Red said Jerry keep it on the low on the boat, Playboy. Yeah, I know how to, I know the cocaine Cowboys. Y'all worse than us. Y'all worse than us. The cocaine. It's all about winning, honestly. If you win, they leave you alone. I'm not gonna say it's all about winning, but if you win, they leave you alone for the most part. Robert Kraft, his creep self. This is not just Dan Snyder and other guy. Robert Kraft with the freaking. He was actually doing trafficking. He was actually Mark Cuban. Yeah, say less. Mark Cuban. He's not the only guy, and I'm not defending Dan Snyder at all. But there's some other people that have definitely done just as bad or even worse. I'm not condoning Dan Snyder or Larry Michael or any of these guys, But there's other owners who've done a lot of stuff. I'm telling you. But hey, if Dan Snyder is forced to sell, then hey, we already know we're happy about that. It's time to move on from Dan Snyder, in my opinion. I think it is. The only thing is that Dan was actually doing the right thing. He hired Ron Rivera. He fired Bruce Allen. Dan Snyder was actually doing good things for the team, in my opinion, in the last 2 or 3 months, or actually since the offseason. Whenever he fired Bruce Allen, that's when Dan Snyder was actually having the best part of his career, in my opinion. He was making the most smartest moves, in my opinion, firing Bruce Allen. He was actually doing things correctly, in my opinion. So this sucks for Dan Snyder that he's actually going to be, if he's forced to sell the team, when he's actually doing things the right way. Let's see here. Kev says, bring back Frank Herzog to do play-by-play thing with the donation. My man's Kev. Yeah, you can bring him back. Chick Hernandez wouldn't be bad. Steve Buckants, who used to do the Wizards. If he knows a lot about football, I wouldn't mind Steve Buckants. I love Steve Buckants. I'm trying to think who else. We get some former players. Hey, maybe Clinton Portis. If Clinton Portis can beat his charge of freaking stealing medical supplies, if Sean, I'm not Sean. I mean, if Clinton Portis can beat his charge of stealing medical supplies, then hey, maybe Clinton Portis. Chris Cooley will still be doing play-by-play. Fred Smoot, maybe his country self. His voice is a little annoying, so maybe he could do play-by-play. Some people are saying maybe Kevin Sheehan, Doc Walker, guys like that. Maybe they could do play-by-play. So JS Music says Ron Rivera's daughter works for the Redskins. Yeah, I know, that is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, G2000 have all the facts come out. You can consider it. You can consider it. I say these are facts. I think these girls are not lying one bit. I think this is all truthful. So this kind of is fact. I don't say 100% all the facts. I don't think 100% all the facts have come out though. But we will see what happens next. There's going to be more stuff coming out for sure, for sure. Jacob Cobb said maybe he paid the refs to make the team lose and bet the Cowboys. I don't see Dan betting for us to lose, but who knows? I don't think Dan would do that because he's lost so much. I don't think he would bet against the Redskins. I don't see him profiting from that, in my opinion. I don't see Dan really profiting from betting against the Washington Redskins. That's why I don't really believe in the betting part. I got to see it to believe it. Like I said, Jerry Jones has probably done that times 1,000. JJR the third, thank you for the donation. He says, appreciate your content, my G. Keep it up. Howl to the Red Wolves. Yeah, I saw Reuben Foster put up an Instagram story talking about howl to the Red Wolves. A lot of Redskins players have been saying it lately, so that looks like it might be the name 100%. But if Dan is forced to sell, then they're going to have to change the name or find another name anyway. So it's really, really interesting here. So let's see here. Tony Martinez the fourth said, "Thank you for the donation. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the donation, Tony. Man, that's a cool profile picture right there. It looks real spacey and whatnot. Oh yeah, Santana Moss. The funny thing is, somebody said that on Twitter too about the paying the refs allegation. That's BS. Y'all remember the Giants game, right? Where we lost to the Giants. We beat the Giants so many times before, but we lost to the Giants, right? So remember when RG3 he got the touchdown, right? And the ref comes up and say it's not a touchdown. It's like right before the half. It's right before the half ends. So RG3 gets tackled like on a 1 yard line or some BS, and they say it's not a touchdown. But it really was a touchdown. Santana Moss takes his helmet, comes to the ref, acts like he's about to punch the ref, gets thrown out of the game because the refs are cheating us so bad. The refs cheated us so bad. There's just no way. There's no way you can convince me that Dan Snyder paid the refs. It's no right. It's no way. It's no way. There's no way you can convince me that he paid the refs. We didn't win enough games. If we went like 12-4, 11-5, or something like that, then hey, maybe yes. But like I said, you got to remember that Santana Moss play where RG3 almost got the touchdown. He didn't get the touchdown because the refs cheated us. And then Santana Moss comes out of nowhere and he looks like he's about to fight the ref, and they throw Santana Moss out of the game. So there's so many things I can bring it up where the refs cheated us so much. I'm trying to find some more stuff that Richard Mann said and some other guy said. So I'll read about Ron Rivera. So this is something positive. That Ron Rivera has said in the interview. So they did interview Ron Rivera. He said, we're trying to create a new culture here. A damn good culture. He didn't say damn good culture, but he said, we're trying to create a new culture here, Rivera said. We're hoping to get people to understand that they need to judge us on where we are and where we're going as opposed to where we've been. We've been in the dirt. We've been bad. Let's see here. A conversation between Richard Mann and a former female employee. So this is another Richard Mann text. So the girl says from the executive office on 9/13 on September 13th, LOL. I open on Tuesday too, so I can do when I first come in. Richard Mann says, ha ha ha, you should pee on the floor. Then the girl said, they are not worthy of my pee. I am taking all my skills and DNA with me when I walk. Richard Mann says, ha ha ha, I'm gonna miss you! Exclamation point. But I'm so happy for you. Going to give you an inappropriate hug on your last day. An inappropriate hug. This is what Richard Mann says. An inappropriate hug on your last day. This is in the text message to the young lady. And she says, go for it. I would be down to the scouts before I leave for many inappropriate hugs. Now, I'm not going to lie. Some of these girls are entertaining. They are. This is some flirting in between. Some of these girls are playing around with these guys. And, they're not. I'm not going to say they're not innocent, but hey, it is what it is. Deal and don't worry. So Richard Mann says, now deal and don't worry. That will be he says deal and don't worry. That will be a stapler in my pocket. Thumbs up and laughing emoji. Nothing else. Once again, he says, don't worry. That will be a stapler in my pocket. That's some really freaky stuff right there. The girl says, LOL. And then Richard Mann says, LOL, thank you. See you Tuesday. I'm on my way for my first something. So that's some really perverted, creepy stuff. And I hate, like I said, I hate to talk about this so much. I really hate to, but it is what it is. Fan for Life said, "Words don't hurt" is on 2020. Only Panisis think that way. Hey man, like I said, it's 2020. Everybody gets canceled. This is what it is. Now we finally have gotten to Larry Michael, and I'm about to get off the stream in about probably like 10, 15 minutes. I'll probably get off the stream in like 10, 15 minutes. The voice of the Redskins, Larry Michael. This is hard. It's hard to read about this about Larry Michael. I'm not gonna lie to you. Very disappointed in Larry Michael. The cancel culture. Yeah, Rufio. I'm telling you, the cancel culture. It's gonna get them out of. That's why I say, people say Dan is not gonna be forced, but I think I would bet before the season starts. I think Dan's gonna be forced. I think he's gonna be forced. It's still 50-50. It's still 50-50. Some people say they still love Larry. Will K said Dan is not done. So sad. Oh, so okay. So I'm gonna get to Larry Michael. I'll probably end with Larry Michael as well. I'm about to get off in a little bit. Probably 10 or 15 minutes. He says it was always objectifying. It was always this is the girl talking about Larry Michael. So she said it was always objectifying. It was always derogatory. I wouldn't even know what to do. I would just shake it off, one former male staffer said. We're all just afraid of our jobs and trying to make it. So he's talking about Dan Snyder, the guy who's talking about Dan Snyder. And this is the story right here. During training camp in 2017, Larry Michael saw a young woman from the sponsorship staff walk by and turned to one of his staffers and commented on her tight ass before adding a remark about her social life, the staffer said. So basically, the girl walks by. You know, when you're looking at the girl, I don't do this. I'm a married man. So, you know, when a girl walks by, you know, you're like, dang, she got a nice, you know, tight, you know what. So this is basically what Larry Michael said. So he said, so this is what Larry said. Larry said you can't mess with her though, because you know she's effing every guy on the team, right? Said this staff. This is what the girl alleges that Larry Michael said, who afterward mentioned the comments to 4 colleagues, including a veteran female employee. The thing is, the Dawes family says scary Larry. He called him Scary Larry. Yeah, Scary Terry. Terry is scary. I mean, Scary Larry. Yeah, I know, right? Um, he's like Quagmire. You know, you watch Family Guy, you think about Quagmire. So these guys are a bunch of Quagmires. You know, Hubba Hubba and all that stuff. You know, um, so the so the girl says, I was mortified but not surprised. The female employee said years earlier, Michael had squeezed this woman's face after a late night taping of a team program and told her she was so cute, she said. So basically, he grabbed her face and told her that she was cute. Juan Gotti talking sports, shout out to Juan Gotti. He said, Rico said, my guy Street Scores, shout out to Street Scores too. Make sure you sub up Juan Gotti talking sports. Make sure you sub up Street Scores as well. Rico said if Dan paid off these refs, he needs to refund immediately. Yeah, I need my money in my hand. Give me my money. I want to see my money because 3-13, and I don't believe. Like I said, I can't believe it. We were just some. I hate to curse some. We were some ass last year. How do you pay off refs and you're 3-13? It doesn't make any sense to me. And you know the Cowboys game with Jerry Jones, they need to investigate Jerry Jones. You know, and I got a feeling if you watch New Jack City, you know how Nino Brown got arrested. You can look at 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine snitched on everybody when he got arrested. Nino Brown got arrested. He was like, if I'm going down, all these mother effers are going down. So I feel like Dan is going to try to snitch on Jerry Jones. He's going to snitch on everybody. You know, if that was really true. If that was really true. He's going to say, all you mother effers are going down. So JJR the third, he said, how are you going to explain you to the fans, to your homies if they ask? Hey, I'm still a fan. I hate to say it, man. I'm not gonna say I hate to say I'm still a fan, but this is bad. We basically hit rock bottom. I thought we hit rock bottom when we went 3-13. You know, when we had Bruce Allen. You know, we fired Scott McCloughan. You know, with the alcohol stuff, Jay Gruden smoking a J, damn good culture. You know, all that stuff. You know, I thought we hit rock bottom before. Now that the name has changed, I thought we really hit rock bottom. Then they just punch us in the face, punches in the gut with this story. But on the bright side, a lot of fans are happy because they want to see Dan sell the team. The only way that Dan was going to sell the team if something like a Donald Sterling thing happened or a Jerry Richardson thing or something just crazy had to happen. So this is the craziness that's about to happen. And like I said, I think it's still 50-50 that Dan's selling the team. Dan could some way possibly. I don't know if he can get away with this, but he might, because like I said, guys like Jerry Jones, Mark Cuban, Robert Kraft have been able to get past times like this, you know. So, but I'm still a fan. I'm still a Redskins fan. I'm still a Washington football team. I'm still a Washington TBD or whatever you want to call us. I'm still a fan. You know, I'm still a fan, and you know, I'm still a fan. I really am. It's hard to say it. They are testing me, but I'm still gonna be a fan. You know, we still got those 3 Super Bowl rings, but damn, Dan's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to get up out of here, man. So about Larry Michael, thank you for the donation once again. About Larry Michael, he said, I was mortified but not surprised. He grabbed the girl's face and said she was so cute. Another comment recalled by 2 former male employees involved a female colleague of Egyptian descent. He said it looked like she definitely had a little Greek in her because of her lighter skin complexion, as well as that ass. One former male employee said. So this is what Larry Michael said. And you know, like I said, with the culture and everything going on, this is the stuff that's going to get Dan up out of there. And then, so none of these employees filed formal complaints, they said, because they never thought anything would come of it. See, that's the thing. They did not. Emmanuel said Snyder not going nowhere. Don't forget he's still a Jew. I'm not going to comment too much on that. You know what Deshaun Jackson said. I'm not talking about what Deshaun Jackson said, but you know, you don't want to get into race things, and so I'm not even going to really comment on that. But Dan has a lot of power. You know, he does. He has really good lawyers. So Dan, don't just think Dan's not going out with a fight. Dan's going out with a fight. If you know, he's not going to be ousted easily. He's not going to be ousted easily. Will K says just lame. Somebody hit his comment, but sorry. Will K said just lame old former guys hitting on interns. Dan's hands will be clean, which effing sucks. Um, yeah, no, you can look at it that way. You can see the thing is the argument is about this. Okay, so yes, Dan Snyder didn't touch any girls. He didn't sex traffic. He didn't child traffic. None of that stuff that a lot of people were rumoring to say. Yes, Dan didn't do this. Dan didn't do that. Dan wasn't hands on. But the thing is, when you're at the top and you're the CEO and you're the owner, and you turn a blind eye and you don't listen to women and nowadays and maybe Dan could have got away with this in the 1990s and the early 2000s, but this is 2020, guys. It's something called. It's not just a cancel culture, but it's the climate. It's the climate. This is what happens. Things like this do not fly by anymore. They do not fly by anymore. Things like this do not fly by. They don't fly by. Vlogher said, "Thank you. Leave women alone in the workplace. It needs to stop." Shaking my head. Yeah. See, there you go. There you go. Women voice their opinion, and just gave Vlogger a wrench. But yeah, women speak out and they speak up on their opinion, and more women come forth. I don't want to compare this to Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Jeff Epstein, guys like that. But it's 15 women, and it's the work environment. You got to think it's the work environment. It's the work environment that you create. The culture that he created or that he let happen was toxic. It was a toxic culture, and it looks bad on the NFL. That's the thing. You got to think of how it looks on other teams. Because, like I said, the Redskins are probably not the only team that has done stuff like or let stuff like. There's many other teams that let stuff like this happen. Many other teams, and there's 9 to 5 jobs where stuff like this happens. It's not just the Redskins. There's many places, many workplaces, 9 to 5 offices. You can watch the shows like nothing like that really happened in the office, but there's office shows you can watch on TV. This is not, I'm not going to say this isn't, but it's not right. It's not right. So you can't let things like this happen. You can't respect our woman, JR. Respect our woman. Joey T said we got to donate money to Ron so he can buy the team. Jeff Bezos probably will buy the team. Barrett Downing, it is crazy. It really is. Yak Dog 24, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. JR Hickson Ball, thank you for the donation. He said, hell to the Redskins all day, every day. Karma's a rocks, Dan. Yeah. Karma's a you know what. You're right about that. Karma is a you know what. It is going to get Dan. Dan probably will have to sell in a little bit. I don't, like I said, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. It's 50-50 right now. Will K says happy, which is why this won't end. Snyder, it will just shadow us. Ki says Schefter already says that's for now, man. Ki, that's for now. That's for now. Ki, you don't know what's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. It took a long time. Sometimes it takes time to get guys out. It takes time to get guys out. Sometimes, this article might just be the start of something. Like I said, it's just 15 girls, 15 ladies, 15 women coming out. There's going to be more women coming forward. It's not just going to be these 15 women. More stories going to come out. More stories going to come out. You got to remember with Bill Cosby, it was one lady who came out. Next thing you know, 30 other women come out, and that's how things go. You got to understand the climate and the culture that we live in. And this is 2020 when anything can happen. Anything can happen in this year. Don't be surprised by anything. Jacob Troutman said, they said Bruce Allen never did it, but said he probably knew about it. If Bruce knew about it, yeah, they said this girl said that Bruce turned a blind eye to. Bruce Allen knew what was going. Everybody knew what was going on. Basically, everybody knew what was going on. So Larry Michael, and like I said, I'm trying to read the article for you guys, so you don't have to pay the $1 subscription to Washington Post. A lot of people probably screenshot it anyway. Shout out to K7 Slash. They said that is the dope. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Let's see here. The Cloud Legal Department removed the file from the hard drive. So yeah, this is a little fishy right here. Okay, so this is about Larry Michael. This is one nugget about Larry Michael. So this girl says this girl says former team employees who heard the video had different recollections of the precise wording, but agreed Larry Michael remarked about how attractive he found the intern who was in college. So basically, he's hitting on an intern. The girl says it was disgusting. One former female employee who heard the audio. This is a grown man who could be my grandfather. And we know Larry, Scary Larry is pretty old. And he's talking about someone younger than me. So one female employee complained about the video to the club's legal department, and a team attorney took the hard drive from the employee who had discovered the video. When the lawyer returned the hard drive, this employee said the file had been deleted. It was unclear to staffers aware of the incident whether Larry Michael was disciplined or not. Larry Michael was probably not disciplined. And then they go on to say the club's legal department removed the file from the hard drive and maintained the file in the organization's confidential HR/legal records where it still resides. The team had said in a statement. So they hid the audio. That's very fishy. And you're telling me Dan Snyder didn't know about that? He didn't know about hiding the audio about this, about Scary Larry Michael. So that looks bad on Dan Snyder. It does. It just does. I don't know if it's an offense that makes him have to sell the team, but it looks bad. On Wednesday morning, the Post requested an interview with Larry Michael and former club officials about comments attributed to Michael by his former employees and the hot mic incident. So Wednesday morning, they asked him, and then Wednesday afternoon, Larry Michael retires out of nowhere. Let's see here. Volatile environment. That's like the last part of the article. That one, she talks about the abuse from Mitch Gershom, who was, I think he was like the CFO or something like that of the team. He was the CFO of the roster of the team. So Franklin Walker, thank you for the donation. He says, "Thanks, ladies, for your Me Too movement." Bye, Danny Boy. Yeah, I mean, these ladies are stepping up. This is not easy for ladies. You got to think about these women. It's not easy. People are like, oh, why didn't they speak up? Why didn't they speak up back in 2015? Why didn't they speak up back in 2005? It's not easy for a woman to come out. It's not. It really isn't. It's not easy. They decided to finally come out. There were 15 women. Rihanna Walker, who works for ESPN and the Undefeated, and still reports on the Redskins till this day, is one of the ladies in this article. And Alex Santos is said to say that she had a tight ass and grabbed her on her hip, nipped her on her hip, and other, sexual advances, and saying, would you date me if I was single, and other text messages and different, interesting or weird things, aggressive things that Alex Santos has said to Rihanna Walker. So there's things like that, and they're fired now when these things happened a few years ago. So, and girls have tried to report it to the top. So this is mostly what the article is about. It's not, like I said, it's not about, child trafficking or any crazy stuff like that, or sexual trafficking. They did not talk about drug abuse. That was not brought up in the article. If you're thinking it's the cocaine cowboys, that's not in the article. But thank you for the donation, Franklin Walker. Jacob Troutman said, also, it said in the article that Dan treated his close employees badly. Green, one of them, mentioned in the article, was one he did make fun of. So a toxic culture starts. There you go. Toxic culture starts at the top. He said that the guy Green, who you're talking about, he made him do cartwheels. He was a cheerleader in college, and Dan Snyder said, "Hey, do these cartwheels," making fun of him. Basically belittling him, or trying to make fun of his manhood because he's a male cheerleader. So that is wrong on Dan's part. Eric Jackson said, "Why does everyone hate on Dan Snyder? If they did make the Patriots own or sell, Dan should be fine." I agree with you on that. See, that's the thing. Robert Kraft was a creep as well. Robert Kraft was a creep. We know what Robert Kraft did down in Miami. This man used to fly down to Miami to his freaking massage place, and then go to games the next day, get on his jet. So Robert Kraft made it through this. Like I said, winning cures all. Winning cures all. If we were winning, this story probably might not even made it. Who knows? But since we've been trash for for Dan Snyder's tenure, then sure. Then there's a lot of people who are saying Dan ain't do nothing, but so we'll see. We'll see what happens. James Dean, think of the donation. He says Snyder should pull a Trump, keep the name to distract from this. Yeah. Trump is said to be a creep as well. Grab her by the what. They got him on audio saying that. So Trump is a creep as well. Yeah, I mean he could. I could definitely see Dan Snyder getting out of this. I'm not gonna lie. I can see Dan Snyder getting out of this. I can see him getting out of it. 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 I wouldn't be surprised if Dan got out of it. I'll say that. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, Darren Darren Osman said this is worse than Donald Sterling. I don't know if this is worse than Donald Sterling. It's a tough one because they actually have footage or they actually have audio of Dan Snyder, saying racist things and things like that. And they have more players saying that. But this is up there. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'll read maybe one more part. I was supposed to. I'll read about one more part here because, like I said, I'm going to read this for you guys, so you don't have to pay the dollar subscription to the Washington Post, or like I said, there's screenshots as well. But Emmanuel said Dan didn't do nothing. You can't blame him. I get that argument. I get that argument, Emmanuel. I understand that argument. I get that argument, but you gotta think about this too. When you turn a blind eye and you're the top, and it's a toxic culture, and things are going on, just like Joe Paterno and Jerry Sandusky. He knew what Jerry Sandusky was doing, and they made Joe Paterno step down. They took down the statue of Joe Paterno. So you don't have to always be hands-on with the creeper stuff. It can be guys. I mean, it can be your best man. It can be your friend. It can be your dog. But he's doing this stuff right now in 2020 in this culture. That's what happens, man. If you're at the top, if you're the CEO, you're the boss, and you know how the culture is, things are going on. If you turn a blind eye, this is what happens. So I get that argument. And man, you said it happens in the Army. That doesn't make it right, though, that it happens in the Army. I bet it does. But that doesn't make it right, though. Doesn't make it right. Slim Murder said Dan is good. We need to focus on Josh Gordon or Antonio. Yeah, we don't. If we have this terrible culture, then and you heard about Antonio Brown's history with women. You really want to bring Antonio Clown in here? I definitely wouldn't do that. Josh Gordon, maybe Josh Gordon, Jay Anderson, thank you for the donation. He said, so tired of these distractions, taking us away from our business on the field. I'm tired of it too, man. I'm tired of it, man. I can't take it. Randy Kettner, yes. Joe Biden, yeah, he was a creep as well. A lot of politicians are creeps, man. A lot of them. A lot of these owners are creeps. A lot of people who are CEOs on top of the head of everything, it's just creeps, man. They're creeps. A lot of politicians. Like I said, Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, all these guys are creeps. Jay Anderson, thank you for the donation. He said, so tired of these distractions taking us away from our business. Yeah, we can't talk about anything football related. We can't because we got to talk about weird stuff going off the field. We got to talk about a name change. We got to talk about everything else but football. I'm getting tired of it. It is what it is. We had to talk about Trent Williams last year all summer. Now we're talking about this. Talk about Bruce Allen, his bum self. He's finally going. I talk about Scott McLuhan being a drunk and getting fired because he was a drunk. Jay Gruden smoking a J. There's always something with the Redskins. Always something, man. I'm telling you. It's always something. We're gonna go said I want the new name. Yeah, I do too. Skin Skin said all they said, Dan hired that. It's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy. Abel and Brocha, thank you for the donation. It's time to clear the office and refreshment. It's time for a new start. It's time to clean house. I think we already actually did clean house on it. We got rid of Bruce Allen. We got rid of a lot of guys. Like I said, I really actually thought that Dan Snyder was actually doing things the right way for once. Hiring Ron Rivera, firing Bruce Allen, getting rid of everybody, cleaning house. He fired the custodians. He fired everybody. Terrible Greg Minuski. He got rid of everybody. Everybody got fired in January. He brought in Ron Rivera. He brought in a new era, a lot of new people. Everybody was fired. Everybody was fired in January. He was cleaning the house, and he brought in Ron Rivera. He brought in Jack Del Rio, who is an established, legitimate defensive coordinator. So I thought Dan was actually doing the right thing for once, as far as football. So, Yak Dog said this could galvanize the team. We'll see about that one. So I think that's about it. Really, Larry Michael's a creep. He really is. Scary Larry. I was a big fan of Larry Burgundy and Gold. Like I said, not a big fan of Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio has said some really weird stuff, political stuff recently. I haven't really spoke on that. but he's spoken up political. I don't agree with what he said on Twitter. I don't want to get too much into depth about politics. A lot of my subscribers don't want me to talk about politics, so I'm not going to get into politics. All I'm going to say is that I just didn't agree with. I thought it was stupid for him to tweet that. That you can kiss my ass. He said that on Twitter, so that was silly of him to say that. Regardless of who you agree with or who you want to vote for, you don't tell somebody to kiss your ass on Twitter. You just don't say stuff like that. You don't say stuff like that. You don't tell somebody to kiss my ass or kiss your ass on Twitter. You just don't say silly stuff like that. Tommy T said because you said scary Larry and I don't sound right to say scary Terry. I know. Hey, Terry, scary Terry. I mean, sorry, Terry McLaurin. Beast Mode 2.0 said Jack ain't in this. I know somebody brought up Jack Del Rio, so I just commented on it. I'm not saying Jack Del Rio. Nobody on this coaching staff was involved in this. And James 6767, I'm disappointed that you just got in here because I'm about to leave pretty soon, and we already talked about a lot of stuff here. Damn, I lost where I was talking. Who I was talking to. Terry AB, Jack ain't in this. Danny is done. Because I said scary Terry, scary Larry. Yeah, I know. We can't say scary Terry anymore. So that name is done for him. And he didn't want that nickname anyway. So scary Larry is he retired before he could really, get fired. Or possibly get a harassment and write up on him or something like that. Chris Radler said Snyder's here to stay. ... Terrible. Brandon Go for life, not with the Washington media. HTT question mark 445 said LC Antonio Brown will also get us another batch of allegations with this damn good coach. Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't want to bring a clown like him, especially with this stuff coming. You want to bring in Antonio Clown? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? And I want to win games too. And I know AB will help us out, but after this, why would we bring another creepo to the Redskins? It just doesn't make sense to me. But I would bring in maybe Josh Gordon, since they're not testing for reefer like they used to. But Skits fan all day said that's what they was doing for 13 years, was literally kissing women's asses. Vincente Parker said the NFL better do an investigation. Yeah, they are. They are doing an investigation. Dan Snyder hired his own person to do an investigation. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe it might go in Dan Snyder's favor because he's the one that hired the lady to do an investigation. The NFL hasn't really spoken on this matter at all. Roger Goodell really hasn't. Hold on. So Ron Rivera came up with a statement. He just said, Pedro Smith actually sent me a tweet as well. He said, Ron Rivera wants change in Washington. Head coach Ron Rivera says there are policies organizations must follow. I'm sure as hell am not going to allow any of this. So this is what Ron Rivera just said. He just said that. So in Ron we trust. In Ron we trust. In Ron we trust right now. So there's other allegations that I could really talk about as well. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, man. I guess there's one more thing that I'll read. There's one more thing that I'll read here. Do her job here with a certain thing. Let's see here. So, okay, so here's one more thing. So, like I said, Snyder would humiliate Dennis in front of other executives because he was a cheerleader in college, and Dennis took everything. Basically, he took all the bad mouth that Dan Snyder gave him. He did everything and anything he had to make sure those suites were sold out year after year. Like I said, Dennis Green was a ticket seller, he was a salesman. One former saleswoman said, but even though sympathetic to Green said his conduct left him with emotional scars, so he wasn't innocent either. One saleswoman who worked in the 2005 to 2010 frame recalled that Green repeatedly offered to connect her with a plastic surgeon if she wanted breast enhancement surgery. He said he knew a doctor who performed several procedures for cheerleaders, she recalled, and he could get her a great rate for plastic surgery. So basically this guy, I guess the lady, I'm assuming she didn't have the biggest, the biggest chest. And Dennis Green said you should get plastic surgery, which is very disrespectful to a woman to say that. To say, hey, I think you should get breast enhancement surgery. That's pretty off the wall to say something like that. So She goes along to say that reducing a young woman to thinking that she can only do her job if she wears a certain thing or exposes parts of her body is demeaning. The former saleswoman says it puts women in their place. So that's pretty bad. So it's crazy stuff, man. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, Larry Marcus Purnell. He said, yeah, he suddenly retired. Larry Michael suddenly retired or had to step down. So, it's crazy stuff, man. It is. It's crazy stuff. Adeyemi said, winning cures all. Look at all the Patriots, all the drama the Patriots have been through. I said that. Robert Kraft is a creep. We all know. The man flew down to Miami and went to a massage place. And Adeyemi continues to say they're not seen as dysfunctional because they win. Happy the people that partake in the sick behavior are gone. F them. Yeah. Winning cures all, man. Robert Kraft is a winner. So he's not going to get asked to sell the team. It's just not going to happen. Jerry Jones is a creep as well. The Cowboys have won here and there. They've been, choking it up in the playoffs. Dez did not catch it. Remember that? That was not a catch. So he's been way more of a winner than Dan Snyder. Jerry Jones has been the creepest of all creeps. Mark Cuban, they won a championship with Dirk Nowitzki. He was accused for having a toxic culture, a sexual harassment environment. Mark Cuban, we remember that. There's some other owners have won and they've gotten away with things. So, but I'm going to sign off here, guys. It's been fun. Adam Moore said this is all because of politics in sports. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it has been. I'm not gonna say it's been fun because under the circumstances, we don't want to see this come out. But I know a lot of people are happy that Dan Snyder might be forced to sell the team. So, that's how it is. I see Quest has been timed out. He's a Cowboys fan. Jay Moser says Dan will get backlash for lack of program. There you go. That's why he might be asked to sell. A lot of people are saying he's not going to be asked to sell, but hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the forthcoming days. More women are going to come out. It's not just going to be these 15 young ladies that came out. I know that. Will K said, "Been fun, depressing. Wish Dan had done worse." Like I said, there's something about the cheerleaders. They did. Alex Santos was more involved with the cheerleaders. It wasn't Dan doing that with the cheerleaders. It was more of Alex Santos. So, but yeah, guys, it's been fun just talking. About football a little bit, finding what really finally happened. I'm happy this is finally over. So, but once again, hail to the Skins, man. Hail to the Skins. I'm still going to be a Washington football to be determined fan. Whatever happens, man. Veterans over the road. What's up, man? But yeah. So, all right, y'all. Peace.